What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the second match of week 4, Aurora Esports. We got an absolute banger match here. We're going to be starting it off with the match of today is going to be the Malibu Monkeys versus the Glasgow Gators. And now both these teams are 1 and 2 in the overall standings. So I want to see exactly how these two teams are going to play against each other because it feels like a fairly evenly matched matchup, doesn't it, BOON1E?
It does, but when you look at both these teams, both of them kind of on the up and up recently because they both won their week 3 matchup, I believe. We had the Glasgow Gators did kind of struggle early on in the season, but looked to have got together at their last victory. Same thing, the Malibu Monkeys struggling early with a 3-0 loss to Vanilla, but not coming back, and a very strong win last week. So both teams 1 and 2, looking to kind of separate from the standings right now. A lot of teams said that 1 and 2 spot, basically you're either undefeated or you're under 500 right now. So if a team can kind of get up here in terms of the standings with the victory tonight, they'll be looking forward to it, especially considering this is probably one of these teams, both their teams, easier matchups throughout the season, just because of how heavy the top is of our league right now. You gotta take these wins when you can get them. So both these teams are gonna fight hard for it, and I'm looking forward to it.
It really proves how vital this win is going to be for either team here, because whenever you're on the same standing as somebody else in the league, you have about the same score differential, the exact same score line in terms of wins to losses. It is so important that you pick up these specific games. And I know both these captains, both these teams looking to come into this game with confidence. BOON1E, who are some of the players you are looking for on this first map of Busan?
Yeah, the players I'm looking out for, especially on Busan, would probably be the tanks between Flame and Flawless, but also Etc. could be popping off here on the Widowmaker, especially on that downtown area of Busan. Might not get too much value on the other ones, but you can see him playing that Soldier or that Ash, kind of long-range hit scan. Can put some work here on Busan. But also, you got to take out for the support lines here, kind of a flip-flop and Goku, very strong support line there for the Gators. And the Monkeys putting on a Shitty Fish here, along with Zucchini. So, Shitty Fish, a returning player, but playing on a different role than he usually does, usually on a tank role. So, interesting to see how he does here. And it looks like we're finally entering into Busan. I do want to point out, though, like you said, these teams want to get their wins here because at this point in the season, who knows if overall playoffs are a thing, but you want to get the best bowl game you possibly can. So, these wins are very important for those lighter seasons and potentially bowl settings for them moving forward. And we are studying out here on the drum map, which is one of those non-Widow kind of maps. We could be seeing a lot of different compositions, but a lot of teams seeming to favor kind of like a Brawl on Point and or a Wrecking Ball comp here. So let's just see what both teams play.
Yeah, looks like we got a fairly stereotypical comp out for Flawless, TDM, etc. and that crew. And then Flame and Elko and their crew going for more of a Brawl decision. How do you think these two comps are going to match up against each other, BOON1E?
Well, it kind of depends because honestly, if the Glasgow Gators can get their comp working with some good old-fashioned 3-2-1 dives, their comp is going to be better because they're going to isolate a target, potentially Zucchini or Elko, catch them out early and get a dive on them right now. But if they do not get that coordination down and working, it is just going to be the brawl pressure on point of the Monkeys coming on top. So interesting to see how these two teams interact and how much really pressure this dive can put on the backline.
Yeah, and they're already going to be positioning towards point. You see Flawless potentially looking for that dive. He said he wanted to isolate either Zucchini or Elko, but you got to remember when you're on BAP, when you're on Mei, you have block, you have Immort, you have the ways to get out, so the comms are going to be crucial. As Flawless does go in, they go for the hack onto Elko, but they're not going to be able to find any presence just yet. Currently, though, looks like the Gators have control of the point. Flame trying to disrupt that a bit by targeting in on the back line. Flip-flop drops so low, but a great sleep comes in to sort of deny it. And right now, still no trades, but finally, etc. with an early pick on the red cactus.
Yeah, it's surprising because actually the Monkeys had a great start to that fight. Walk on the backline, isolating them. However, Flame does find 2 at the end, but it's not going to be nearly enough. Again, they isolate that backline really early and force a really awkward rotation, but honestly, the Gators just play that safe, keep their support line alive for as long as possible while they step on point, and they take that presence, hit the angles, gets Etc. into position. Etc. already 80% to the EMP, a fight-winning ultimate here, and you look at really the side of the Monkeys, they really got not too much building up here, the hack in the backline as well, making Shitty Fish life a living heck, as you could say, but yeah, really no ults here for either side. Now the dive is 7 ready to go, and looking at Zucchini right now.
Yeah, it's all going to be on how they're going to be setting up to claim this objective back. Right now, the Brawl is holding on pretty strong, and they're actually going to give the point over to the enemy team. I don't know if that was Gaslow's plan to completely give point over, but either way, a 5-man EMP comes out. Etc. takes one, gets traded back. Teddy M and Flawless are going to be on the point for extremely quick cleanup, though, and now it's just Elko surviving. The final man standing. I'm wondering if they meant to give up point there, BOON1E.
I don't think they did, but they did. If you are the Monkeys, that's a pretty good area there. You got EMP out, you got Primal as well, and you got a free 20% as well. So a great fight for the Monkeys there, honestly. Because they're coming back in here with Beat, Annihilation, and Blizzard. Really everything in the basket form ready to use. And it's just a nano pulse on the other side. If Teddy can land a pulse bomb, it will be a game changer. But it's up to this Tracer to get something done. Sombra is looking at the backline right now, see if they can get done.
They're not contesting the point again. Are they just going to let the Monkeys have it? I guess they will. Meanwhile, the backline's just getting dove. I don't think Flawless has even looked at the point yet. I think he's just dive whoever I can find, see how many kills I can get in this game. And it's working out. They're winning the kill game, but they're overall losing the point. Eventually, Beat's going to be contested here. Flame's going to get slept.
Paninii comes in as well on the Flame. For him pretty weak, but gets the kill on the flip-flop regardless. Oh, the pulse lands. A +2. It's big.
It's such a huge pulse, and they're so clinical on picking these up. Finally, Elko puts a stop to it, and they're going to maintain control of point. I feel like this could be a completely different story, though, if the Gators just hold on to point for a little bit longer.
I mean, what's happening is Elko is walking on a point, forcing out Tay's recall early with the Mei with the left click, and it's really not letting to hold that space because Floss has to go in the back line and put some pressure on. So nothing ready to hold it, and they only had to use Beat there for that flip as well. And they gained the point presence, they gained the control, 21% than the Glasgow Gators, and now it's last fight territory, and they only have the ride to work with. They have to, if they can place faster, the Monkeys are going to win this easily. Oh, a huge pick by Rex Cactus.
Rex Cactus with the pick you need. Looks like ultimates are going to be invested here, though, from the Glasgow Gators. The Blizzard on point to try and deny the space, and that's going to be big because that catches out Guku. That catches out the rally. Currently, Flawless, though, still holding on, etc. with the EMP, potentially looking to use it here. I mean, this might be the time to use it, and Annihilation still putting in so much work on the point, but eventually gets shut down. Flame and Elko both go down, and they don't need to recontest. They're going to be coming back with the multiple ults on the side of the Monkeys.
I mean, that just comes down to a really nicely timed EMP dive there onto Zucchini. They get the Baptiste out of the fight. She had the window, but goes down. No Mentality Field as well. And then Elko using that Blizzard does isolate Guku, but nobody really fell on any more damage aside from that. You did force out a lot of ultimates. You did force out Pulse, Primal, as well as the Brigitte ult. So they only have the EMP here. If Etc. can land it be a fight win.
Oh,
but it's not looking good right now.
For it already. It's going to only hit 3, though. Wait, that's going to be big, though. It's going to bait out a lot of utility from the Monkeys. Is it going to be enough, though? Got multiple ultimates being utilized on the point. Zucchini, etc. And Dragon's going through from Rex Cactus. Is it going to be enough to hold on? Gugu's forced off the point, but gets nanoed. Holding on for dear life on this point. Dueling the Ramatra. Going to be enough? No, it's not. Now it's going to be Flip-Flop dropping down to point with the anti, with the sleep. Going to deny a bit of time. Etc.'s back 2 to touch. They're just trying to buy as much time. Play for Flawless to get back on this ball swap, and it looks like he is trying to shut down Rex Cactus, trying to shut down this support duo on point of a Shifty Fishy and Zucchini. But what can they do?
Not much. This duo is keeping each other alive so well right now. Gugu has returned to the fight, but it's going to get isolated and taken down. Flames back. It looks like it counts as a desperation stall with the Moira swap as well. No fade, face is forced, and now it's just lost on that Wrecking Ball. But honestly, that just comes down to a really clutch play from the support line of the Monkeys right there. Zucchini puts down the window, and not even through the window, I believe, but she kills 3 that fight, I think, and the Shitty Fish comes back to keep the Baptiste alive. It's basically Flip-Flop and Guku versus a Shady Fish and Zucchini there in that last fight, and just Zucchini had the ultimate. Guku did get nanoed, but Shifty and Zucchini just jumped on top of the drum. There's really no way for Guku to get up there, so kind of rough there for the Nano Brigitte. Can't isolate that target, but now we are into downtown, and this is where the Exeter Widow can put in some damage. I mean, Red Cactus could put some pressure on him with the Hanzo pick, but honestly, I'm expecting Exeter to go huge here on this point.
And I love this switch over from Flame and Elko. They're probably expecting the Widow from ETC, so they're going more of a dive composition, a composition that can better pressure out ETC off from the high ground that we know he loves to take.
It is a bit rough to play Brawl in this comp as well, on this point specifically. There's just so much open space, so much high ground this dive can control. So yes, I do like the swap as well. But Floss has the opening position over middle, has that high ground. Looks like this rotation's coming through from the Monkeys. Where are they off to right now? Looks like they're just trying to rush on the support line, but it's going to rotate away, and This is looking pretty good here for the Glasgow Gators, so Etc. can find a pick in this rotation.
And EGC's now mid-map. I'd say even in a better position now because it's an angle that the opponents don't expect. Elko definitely doesn't expect that one as ETC finds an early one. No one really able to pressure out thus far, and ETC is just allowed to cook on point. Well, the rest of the team just gonna be able to find this cap.
Yep, and that's just honestly a bit of a slow rotation coming through there from the Monkeys. They kind of really telegraphed that one and allowed Etc. to just get into a different high ground and have total control over the map. Basically, for the Widowmaker, those sight lines were impeccable right there. I should have just tried to put some pressure on him, but not too much you can do when Etc. kills both your DPS. And now looking at Flaws has the prime real estate up here on this top right building, able to drop in and get out safely with the squad. Flip-flops late, Nate does not land, but Elko's isolated early, forced to retreat.
Flames jumping on ETC as well, forcing out the util, and Zucchini's actually the one to show, oh, maybe she's the better sniper on point. Now without the threat of this Widowmaker, Monkeys are looking to cap this point, but Flawless with a good shutdown on Elko as well. Flame's gonna get slept. Flip-Flop has just been on top of these tank sleeps.
Yeah, Flip-Flop has some huge utility there, got the anti into Elko as well. They are going to switch out on two supports here, so it's a very even fight on either side, but the anti-Flip-Flop lands, however, Monkeys or Glasgow Gators lose both their supports right now as they're going into point, etc. on to the Sombra, try to get something down. The Pulse Bomb is going to go wide from Tedium right now. Flawless, though, is still there, has a primal race to stabilize this point for us a little bit, but it is a 3-on-1, etc. in the Mega Pack, trying to get something done right now. However, this is Flawless going as monkey mode as it possibly can on the point. Elko chasing him down. They don't get the kill, etc. is trying to find Flame, so losing out on this Winston. This fight is not over by Winston whatsoever, and Guku with the Pulse! Or Guku with the rally, that's going to be it. That's going to be a fight win. How they do that?
I cannot believe they took that back. I mean, a couple ultimates invested, but if you're looking at the ult bank, I mean, it's not catastrophically bad, especially when you have 75%. Obviously, you have the Monkeys coming up on 4 ults, so they're going to have the ult advantage, but it's really not a bad position, especially when you keep finding staggers like that.
You find the staggers, and really this point can be dedicated to Flip-Flop right now. She is going crazy on this Ana, hitting the nades, hitting the sleeves, keeping Guku in the fight. And I mean, Flawless able to go so aggressive off the help of this Ana player right now. Flame goes in, gets hacked, has a primal rage, will get off in time, but it's 90% counting, and the point is still not flipped.
And now we're just gonna see every ult here come out from the Monkeys, throwing it all against the wall, seeing what they can find. Will it even be enough? It's gonna be the Blade, the Primal, to shut down the support line of the Gators. Now we see Deja Vu, Flawless on the point, ultimate pop, just trying to stall out as much time as he can. Can he pull off a hero move again? He might be able to, especially with the help of ETC, especially with the help of that ultimate there. They're just gonna deny the entire point. ETC, Flawless, what are you guys doing?
Flawless has Weeze this morning, my goodness. 2 clutch primal rages there to stall that point for long enough. Got a kill in the last fight that as well. And then the fact that Etc. is able to build that EMP so quickly and isolate those last 2 targets, a huge play from them. And I mean, I'll say this a Flip-Flop point, but Flawless might be making a run for that one right there. Huge plays on that Winston, and now we're seeing the Brawl style, which you would probably favor the Monkeys in this comp, but if Etc. comes out on this Bastion, it's a new look for them and could be spicy.
Definitely could be spicy, but is it going to be enough to counter the Brawl of the Monkeys that we've seen have a lot of success? That is exactly what I'm wondering. And will anybody have the pressure to just shut down EGC? Will the wall be enough to deny it?
It'll be kind of rough here. Etc. can just burn that almost instantly with his turret form. So it's honestly, if Etc. can hold his turret form for the perfect time, it's going to be an easy fight win for the squads. And they're going to meet right in the middle and go right at it.
Yeah, and you see how fast that wall actually gets annihilated here. Elko's inside, gets shut down. Flame finds the trade back onto the DPS of ETC, so now we have 2 DPS carries down, and it's an absolute brawl on point to see who can stay alive. Flame with an early big pick, though, and looking to take some good space for the Monkeys.
And Guku dying when the Immortality field was still up is a really rough spot. Probably just jumped out as Lucio does. The point is probably going to flip here pretty quickly for the Monkeys, but the recontest comes on through as they are down Flame. Flame's on point right now, so the high ground is now controlled by the Glasgow Gators, and they can win this fight if they hold it here.
They have the ability to dictate exactly when you want to go in, but right now, this is perfect brawl. All teams stacked exactly on top of each other, ready to engage. Looks like it's going to be the Monkeys' first one to split off. The wall comes through, but doesn't hit anybody. And look at how fast this wall, ultimate's built up by Flip-Flop. They're able to zone off the point completely. They're not going to drop down and cap just yet.
Oh, but the recontest comes on through a nice wall as well from our Cactus. Will isolate a couple targets. And the beat, and there's just so many ults coming out here. Your Tide feels nowhere near to help the team.
Counter Annihilation is going to be popped by Flawless, and he's going to be kept up for it as well. They're going to run through the opposing team of the Monkeys, and the Monkeys have lost their beat. They've lost their Annihilation. Probably two of the most valuable ults in this team comp.
Very true, but they do have this Blizzard still. They could pop that out. I mean, they still have Zuki's window as well. A lot of ults on either side. It's really if Tedium can land, Tedium or Elko can land a Death Blossom, might be the difference here. But honestly, Elko or Rekka's making some big walls here, and a nice Blizzard comes down early. Will ice a couple targets.
It's going to effectively split off the team of the Gators, but Elko not going to really find anybody with that ultimate. ETC, on the other hand, will. Right now, it's a very split point right now. We currently have Flawless towards the low ground trying to contest upwards, but split off from Flip-Flop, split off from ETC. Managing to get back up, though, managing to contest against Flame, using that Nemesis form to force back off the point. They have what they want. They have the control of the point, and it was not a disadvantageous fight for them either.
Yeah, while the Blizzard did split a couple targets off on the high ground, Elko didn't find anything. Listen, nobody got frozen up either, so no kills coming from that Blizzard. It allowed Guku kind of just to speed back with the team for the recontest, and etc. popped off with the Bastion ult, finding one, and Tedium goes in with his own, finds two, and that's probably going to be another fight win here. I mean, Rek'Hag's trying to clutch up, but not going to happen. As Flawless using those palm punches, we'll find a few. And you win that just for Death Blossom, that's a great economy fight there for the Glasgow Gators. And now Flawless close to that Annihilation, Flip-Flop with another window. Here, Zuki still has yet to pop hers down. It's basically up to Flames Annihilation here to open up some space and get the team going, but it's looking perfect. Etc. Bastion pick to put in some work right now. It's so much damage, so much pressure.
But Flawless can get Annihilation almost just as quickly. Both Annihilations are going to be online, and look at the high ground. It's just a window. It's just ETC up there, eating through the HP, the health of everybody on the opposing team. Just going to be Zucchini left trying to do her best, but against an ultimate combination like that, the Gators are going to be taking map 1.
Yeah, Monk is dying with both the support ults there. Rough look, but it's honestly pretty tough when Flip-Flop drops on the window right in front of the turret form, etc. This will probably be it, honestly. That Bastion pick was putting in a lot of work, and just, you can see the idea wasn't to get kills, except for this play, but the idea was just to break the walls early and just put so much pressure on the Ramatra, force out the Nemesis form early, force on a block, no value out of the pump punches through the cleave. So, honestly, a great look from the Gators, a good adaptation there. We saw them look pretty rough on that first point of Busan, but bring it back with a really strong performance. I think 200-0 on the final 2 points.
200-0. I mean, that speaks for itself. They played impeccable on both those maps, and I love the adaptations they made. They found a counter to both a brawl and a dive, and when you get ETC and then that Widow on, I guess, the Bastion as well too. I mean, Widow and Bastion seem like two different characters, but when you have a player as talented as ECT, you can pop off on both.
Very, very true. And we're not going to go to map break even because we got the map already. It's going to be King's Row. And some swaps coming in. Flame off tank over on a support, and a Shittyfish comes in, probably to play the signature Reinhardt. We'll see if there's any swaps. We do have Bunny and Razmataz on the bench for the Gators. Wouldn't be surprised to see them both come in for a bit of a support game player, potentially a Raz on her signature Farah. But I think the Gators are looking very strong right now. Like, again, they did struggle a little bit on that first point, but I think that's just because they gave up the point for free multiple times when they didn't really have to do that. I could have been at least somebody contesting it, but we saw once they were able to control that point, play their game, play their style, they're able to dominate. So looking over in King's Row, wouldn't be surprised to see Flawless back on their mantra. I haven't seen too much Flawless Reinhardt, but maybe he's got a Pac going up his sleeve. I don't know. And the swap is going to be Guku for Razmataz. So basically just one little swap. Bunny's still on the sideline for now. But you do have a very strong... I wonder if Raz is going to play Lucio. It's kind of really not her forte. Do we see a Mercy pick coming in with etc. on the Ashe? I'm not sure what we see, but...
It really depends on how exactly they want to counter the Monkeys, because when you have somebody like Shifty Fishy on your tank, I mean, you're going to expect the Rhine. So it's like, what can you do best to counter the Rhine? And Flawless did seem very confident on the Ramatra, so maybe you look for something more counter-brawly with the Ramatra pick to counter that Reinhardt.
I mean, you could do that, but also just put etc. on Ashe. Ashe is very good in some brawl, especially if they don't have a diva. You can just land those huge dynamites, put in the huge pressure. And if Lost is on the Ramatra, he'll be able to capitalize on that with some palm punches. So I'm expecting to see an Ashe play here. That's gonna be where I put my foot down. But And for the side of the monkeys, I think we're going to see some Reinhardt gameplay. We saw Elko and Recactus pretty comfortable on that Reaper May, so probably going to be the same thing. But Flame in here for the support role, and I think Flame's more of a flex support player, so I'm not sure if we're going to see a double flex look with maybe an Ana Baptiste with a Kiriko, or if one of them is going to kind of go over to that main support. Not too familiar with Flame's hero pool on the support role, but look at the defense. Is okay. I was about to say, Etc. is not going to stick on a Genji, is he? No, goes over to Sojourn, which also works pretty well. A lot of high gun control, a lot of mobility to avoid the rush. So not a bad pick whatsoever. And Rad's going to be on the Lucio. So just take out Goku and put in Raz. It's just the same piece of a puzzle. And you look over Flame on the Lucio. So maybe Flame is more a main support player. Again, I'm not entirely comfortable with his hero pool, but he can show off right now. Show me that I'm wrong. Double flex is not needed. And when you look at it, it's going to be pretty even comp. Elko on the Junkrat, an interesting look. Put some more pressure on their matchup, perhaps. But we will have to see how this actually works out. Rekhack's taking on that May, but everything else looking pretty much the same for Mecha Base.
Yeah, somewhat predicted, but of course there are a few unpredictables. Like, I mean, Flame and Elko duo, you talk about them a lot. I mean, I did not expect to see Elko on DPS, Flame on support for this match, but we'll have to see if it does work. They weren't able to find success on the first match. Definitely looking to do it on this match, and they find some decent ones with an early pick. Red Cactus gets one as well. Elko on a sliver of HP, trying to stay alive, but a Shifty Fish is just taking all the space of the point. They're just gonna have to, if you're the other team, you just have to back up and reset.
And that's just a fight-winning wall there from Red Cactus. Isolates Razmataz. They get that Lucio out early. Doesn't allow Floss to have a retreat plan. And we do have a last-second contest here from Tedium. Uses that waveform, but another huge wall from Red Cactus. Two big ones. Two fight winners almost. And they're going to get staggers out. And they're probably going to get the choke for free. Monk is looking way more comfortable on this look. But that it could also come down to a bit of shenanigans out from the Glasgow Gators so far. And I mean, just look at it. Razmataz having a bit of a rough time so far this map, only 18% towards that beat, and Elko closing in on a tire, so it's looking a bit rough here for the Gators, but if they get one hold here on defense on B, it's usually pretty good for the defender's side, but I mean, Elko can open up with a big tire, outbuilding Zucchini's window, of all things. Yeah. Who really knows what's going to come first, but again, the choke has been garnered, and now it's going to be a bookstore fight where the attackers slightly favored if they take it here.
Be all about exactly how you want to use this first ultimates that are coming online. It's going to be the window on both sides, and then Elko with the potential tire that they can put down. Window's going to be utilized all the way up top, but Elko finds one right through. Going to start with the tire as well, hunting down the team. Doesn't find one with that, but managed to get one with a mine. Elko is just putting in work on this Junkrat.
Yeah, and that window from flip-flop, which is way too late. The card already pushed around the corner. There's going to be nobody in those LOS, and what that does, Flaws goes in, and doesn't expect the tire to blow up right in his face, so he just gets taken down to critical HP right away in the Nemesis form. He really has no option to block at all, and just gets taken down really quickly. And now you look at it, that's basically one ult for a fight win, and you have 4 others to use here for his last-second contest. I don't even think they're going to go for it. They're going to get point B, and now it's going to be almost a 6-minute time bank here for the Monkeys going in Kings Row C, and another wall from Red Cactus with a nice blizzard on top of it. A boop as well for Flame!
No way! Flawless is off the map by Flame. I mean, we doubted the Flame Lucio, but we see exactly why they have it, and right now everything is in Gators' favor. They have ults on their side, they have positioning on their side, they have position in the map on their side, and they're just putting in work right now. It feels like Flawless hasn't even been able to build up a single annihilation yet, and gonna try to now, but when Flip-Flop goes down, that's your main healer down. You didn't want to invest annihilation here? You might as well, but no! This gets instantly denied. They're gonna walk through Raz. That's the entire team just down again for the Glasgow Gators.
I mean,
wow.
This is blistering, and they're gonna finish this. That's it. That's gonna be a 4-minute 45-second time bank in Kings Row. Wow, that honestly, I want to get a shout to Red Cactus there on the May, putting in a lot of work, not only hitting the icicles there at the end, getting those kills, had the right click there, kill on the flip flop, taking her out of that fight early, but also just the May walls have been spectacular, just been great at isolating targets and allowing them to get picks. The blizzard on the flawless there at the end when Flame comes in, at least Red Cactus did get a bit of a crit there with the blizzard kill off the map somehow. Don't know how blizzard codes work in that way, but I honestly that's just amazing from the Monkeys. Such a bounce back after kind of a rough showing the last 2 points of Busan. and really no answers from the Glasgow Gators so far. Are we gonna see any adaptations? Because they needed to come up with something else. I mean, I don't think the Widow is the answer into this, but etc. has proven me wrong before, and they're just gonna stick with what worked on the last point. Elko on the Junkrat still, but Red Cax off the May onto the Cassidy. Interesting look, because I would have liked to see the May back because he's doing really well on that, but I trust Red Cax at this point. Made me a believer with those last few. And yes, Panini, I see you in chat, but I didn't say it, therefore it didn't happen. So, you know, time
Was
banks
he
didn't
saying
go to die.
the third point, time bank goes to die, whatever?
Yeah, Kings Row points these where time banks go to
Yeah.
die. I didn't say
Yeah.
that, so it didn't
Yeah, I
happen.
didn't say it
I
either. Yeah.
apologize. A bit of a curse by me there, a bit of a caster curse for the Glasgow Gators. I apologize, and the adaptation is going to be Aurora. I like that swap because they're dealing with a Junkrat, they're dealing with a Reinhardt. Just a lot of spam pressure coming through, and Floss on the anti-Rhine tank of the Orisa, and an opening pick by etc. So a good start for the Gladiators, as the Monkeys are just retreating for now.
And that's the pick you need. The hit scan now for the Monkeys just completely shut down. You have a Shifty Fish, you're just trying to stay alive, but the Pharah is in the back line. The damage is already dealt. Windows down. There's no real chance to sustain. They're stuck in hotel. Elko's gonna get isolated. A Shifty Fish is down. Nobody's really left to survive. Rex Cactus is back, but it's not gonna be a contest for this team of the Monkeys right now. They can't find anything.
Yeah, and then it's a pretty good showing right there. Rekaz though finds both the Pharmacy and the Mercy. Okay, so good start. But as you're looking at it right now, the adaptation was really good though. The Pharah worked out to perfection, especially on point A. There's a lot of open area to play with. But look at the Monkeys going over to the Zarya. It's a great counter on the Orisa. I mean, Orisa's really only good into Reinhardt at this point, so if you watch off that, the Orisa finds a lot less value. And Flame off Lucio onto the Ana will put some more pressure onto those Flyers.
Definitely want to find any pressure you need, but it's actually going to be Teddy M who gets the first pressure on his side. And this is going to be, feels extremely attacker-sided right now. Again, the Nano's going to come in on Flawless. He's just walking into the Orisa. He's walking into the Zarya. He doesn't care if the advantage, disadvantage. He's going to find 3 right there and on fire in a great spot. Elko with the tire? Did I miss something here?
Maybe just try and get a pick on point for the recontest to come through. It's looking pretty rough. Yeah, that's not going to do much.
Probably going to be a swap here, right? You'd think?
I would assume so.
Or they just tire and...
I don't know about that one.
Yeah.
And now we're on Kings Row Point C. I won't say it because it's safe for the other teams, so it's only fair.
Yep.
And another 6-minute time bank here. Neither of these teams know the word of defense. But they do have some ults here for the side of defense. If they can get one fight win, they'll already be in a better spot. But looking at that, 4 ults for the Glasgow Gators as they start to move in here. Shittyfish is so low, has a bubble, and the AT comes in. And now here comes an ult fight on both sides.
Both sides gonna be full fighting it here. Elko's going in with the Nano, but no blade in this case. Shittyfish is gonna be able to find one, and Flawless. Rest of the team just backing up, but as they back up, Teddy M's gonna find nice head tap there onto Elko. So now it's gonna be the advantage on the side of Flawless and the rest of the Gators. They're pushing straight in. Nano's gonna be used. They're going into Red Cactus's Deadeye. Gonna be a good job of zoning out the team, temporarily putting him in a spot, and then the grab by a Shifty Fishy. So good. Flawless goes in with a counter tank ult. That's not gonna be able to find as much. Teddy M managed to pick up a couple though, and now it's just Red Cactus and the 2 supports for the Monkeys.
I mean, what a counterplay by Flawless though. They beat the big grab in the back line, but use the result to pull the Zarya out of that fight. She can't capitalize with her high energy. It's up to Elko, who gets antonated as well. Can't get those kills through the grab. They will eventually win the fight, however, but I just want to point out Flawless had a great counterplay there to that Graviton Surge in the back line.
Yeah, great way of disrupting, and all things still in the favor of the Glasgow Gators at the moment. ETC has been holding on to this barrage for a while, was trying to set up in a position to use it, but didn't get the opportunity. Now might be the time. Above them, Elko is setting up, looking for the engage on the back line. It's going to be a huge nade, allowing Elko to instantly initiate inwards. ETC is going to be able to find the trade back, though.
They get the trade back, but this High Noon will basically stop this fight before it really even starts. They do get the nice javelin though. It cancels that ultimate. Now they're gonna go right back in, but Elko will get back first compared to Tedium, so it's gonna be a 5-on-4 for now. The point still is kind of stabilizing at this cart. Elko, they're close to Nano Blade here. Just 14 more percent. Oh! Mid-air deflect.
Deflect! No way! That was an insane deflect by Elko, and Elko still popping off in the back line. Decides not to play, just decides to contest the point against Flawless, against Flip Flop. Gets antied, but still staying alive quite well here. Taking presence on this high ground position. With Flame still up, I mean, still putting in a lot of work. Flame with a huge nade, too.
Sadly, we will not experience the chills that Nano Blade brings. Smartly, I would say smartly hold on to that blade. Didn't really need it. Just put some pressure in the back when they got the picks they needed. And now they have the dry blade. But Flame, oh, that Floss is putting us to work with the javelins, not gonna lie. Has another recent ultimate here. But the spawns are pretty much in favor of the Monkeys for now. If they can just stay for just a couple more seconds, the blade comes out though, but Shitfish already down.
And Flawless on the point, trying to take all the space they can, trying to deny whatever he can. Red Cactus with a switch onto Tracer, just really trying to stall out some time, plan to play more of a dive, but Flip-Flop's gonna shut down one dive in Elko. Now Flawless looking towards the point, looking for whatever picks they can get. Shifty Fish is back now on the Diva. It's gonna be a stall. Any time they can get here is gonna be good, and if they can shut anything down like Red Cactus does right there, that'll be even more massive. Another anti is gonna come out onto Flawless yet again. This man is just getting so much power here, so much pressure on the back line, but Elko's just doing the exact same thing for this other back line.
I mean, that's a great fight for the Monkeys. It just took so long, forced so many ults on both sides, a lot of swaps as well, and they got nothing. And they're gonna swap over back to the Diva here for the Gators, but they're close to Nano Blade here with Elko, 80% and counting, and Shitty again swaps over to the Zarya. So probably, I don't know if they go for Nano Blade here, if they go for a Nano Zarya, if a Shitty Fish can find some charge, but the time bank is dwindling. Only a minute 40 remaining for what looked like a 6-minute time bank going in here. I'll say if it happens, but Ratcash close to another pulse bomb. Found one next to last time, really opened that fight for his team.
Yeah, and both the DPS ults are going to be online here. Nano Blade, we're finally going to be able to see it. The bubble has come through too. Chills to the vein. That's the DPS is down. That's the support's down. That's the entire team, but Flawless down. At this point, you just want to jump off the map here. You want to get 2 more team fights by the end. They should have time for multiple, but only one ultimate online for this fight. Good news is, though, a lot of ults used on the side of the Monkeys.
Yeah, but you got to hold out just for 1 more minute. You'll have Zucchini's window as well. She'll be on the high ground, be able to put so much pressure, so much healing in your entire field, be able to keep your team nice and healthy. So it's last fight territory, and looking like a very drawable situation right now. If you're the Glasgow Gators, you got to fight for this draw. They're going to come in here with Etcetera's ultimate. If they can, oh, but Flawless is dead. That's not a good start. It's not going to lie.
And that's gonna basically disable the entire ultimate from ETC's Bastion, because there's nobody to really follow up on the damage he puts down. They're now forced to wait. Flawless is not even back yet. They're just kiting backwards. The only saving grace here, 3 ults online.
It's 3 ults. Look at the time, like only 20 seconds. The point will not cap with time at this point. And Scissor goes down first again here. Elko find the opening pick. The sleep under Razmataz. They do find Zucchini, but it's not looking good for Glasgow compared with time, but they could win this fight and cap. Teddy with 2.
Remember, Elko's still lurking in the backline. Raz trying to do whatever she can to really stop this contest. Elko's gonna be able to make it out, though. It's gonna give the Monkeys a chance to reset. Actually, it's gonna be 2 picks that are gonna be found. Those are huge. Zucchini goes down too when she instantly TP'd in. It's just gonna be Flame. It's just gonna be Red Cactus stalling out. They are gonna be able to maybe complete this cap, and it looks like they will. But it's gonna be without any time. And BOON1E, you didn't say it, but
yeah. King's roll point sees where time banks go to die. Say the line, Bart. It happened. They had a 6-minute time bank going in basically, and it went down to 0. They did get the cap, but it's looking pretty rough here. You know, I'm not usually a negative Nancy, but a 5-minute time bank and 1 tick, all I have to give, it's looking pretty rough. You know, you can play for just like an EMP Nano Blade combo. You can just play for a huge ult win. You can just do so much here. 1 pick is really all you need. I think going to a 1-1 series, you know. Another one with class raise. I'm not much of a prognosticator, but it's looking kind of rough. And we do have the Gators potentially having a bit of mental problems here with this ping coming through. They do have, I have 130 latency as well. So who knows? Do you need ping to win? Turn off the DDoS if you're the Monkeys. But they're looking at playing for like an Elko barrage kind of play. It's gonna be pretty rough for the defense. I'm thinking it'll be quick, but who knows? Maybe King's Row point A could be where Time Banks go to die now.
And the tough thing is they can just read whatever composition the Gators have, and they can just say, "Oh, let's swap." And if they try to swap, well, we're just gonna claim the point because we only need one tick, you know?
We have enough time to do like 5 column swaps and still get ults if we want.
We get ults in 3 of the comp swaps as well. Like, we have all the time in the world. We'll chill in. I mean, we'll see how well the Gators are actually able to hold on here.
Flip Flops gets isolated pretty early here. She will not die, but Raz will first. So there's 2, and that's gonna be map 1. That's gonna be map 2. I'm not gonna try.
Hey, at least we'll be able to fix the ping, you know?
At least we'll be able to fix the ping. Yep, that's it. Just flaws, accepting his fate, going to the glue factory there. And yeah, unfortunate ping issues. Hopefully those get fixed before our next map. But ping or not, the Monkey is looking way better on this composition. Flame and Elko on the support DPS combo, seemingly to put in a lot more work than if they were, say, on the DPS and the tank combo. So I would be surprised to see them stick with this moving forward. Is this Nanoblade? Am I chillsing right now? Am I bat chesting on live on camera? I am. This is Nanoblaze. Oh my lord. So awesome. So cool. Wow.
We love ultimates.
We love those 2 ultimates specifically together. So
we're gonna have probably a bit longer of a break here as the ping is fixed up.
Apparently we're playing in France.
Apparently we are playing in France.
Wow.
You just got France. Share this with all your friends to totally France them. But in this case, it's the Glasgow Gators and the Malibu Monkeys that got France, you know?
I mean, that's I don't know how the hell did we get to France? Who's playing in Europe right now?
Yeah, I don't know.
Who on either side is Ramataz? She's the only person who got subbed in. Is she in France right now? Is she currently pulling a transflexion on us and playing live from France? Anyway, we're gonna set us up to a quick map break while we fix the server. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. Map 3 of this banger series continues after this break.
Welcome back, everybody. We are currently on the third map of a banger series between the Glasgow Gators, who are up 1, and the Malibu Monkeys, who are also at 1. So currently 1-1 in the series right now, as we are going to be going into the Gators pick of Junkertown. BOON1E, what do you think about this map pick from them?
Except Widowmaker. That's what I thought. That's really all I need to know. And I know
I agree. I agree.
Flawless is a very experienced Wrecking Ball player in Overwatch 1, I'm aware of. So Wrecking Ball also pretty good in this map. Tedium can play that Hanzo. So you got a really good double sniper. I apologize. But especially if you look at the side of the Monkeys, they don't really have two like stellar snipers. And Elko's really comfortable on the flex DPS roles. Maybe you can whip out like a Hanzo here, and Rec Catch goes over to the Widow. Both pretty good DPS, but I do favor the etc. Tedium duo here on Junkertown, but could be again interesting to see what the Monkeys run. Maybe they go back to that brawl style that worked from before, but it does not look like it. We're going to see Shittyfish on the Sigma, which is pretty good for this map as well. Flaw's going to marry that. Tedium on the legs, the recently buffed legs, especially with Bunny coming in as well. I forgot to mention Bunny comes in for Guku. So you'll get the Mercy Pocket, I would say probably on the legs, just because of how much damage you can put out. But maybe etc. gets it as well. Who really knows what we see here? Flame onto the Zenyatta. I like that swap if they're going to stick with it. The double flex, pretty good with the Sigma. And yeah, I really got nothing else. You can go ahead.
Hey, your analysis is impeccable, but yeah, it looks like Bunny will be pocketing Teddy M for the Gators, and on the side of Monkeys seems to be more put up shield, play around, maybe a bit of dive from Elko, supported by whether it be Flame or pressure from the rest of the team. But what I'm focusing on right now is going to be this duel between ETC and Rex Cactus. I mean, ETC obviously a very dependable player, but not when Elko just goes straight in.
They weren't pushing the cart at all. But mean, Elko does find both DPS, so you're going to win the fight regardless. I mean, like I said, you know, the Elko really comfortable on his flex DPS and shows it right there, goes over on the Genji, makes it work on Junkertown. Kind of an awkward pick, especially with the long range that Genji can't really work with, but got us that deflect kill, able to dash in and find Tedium there to start the fight. So with both DPS down, Elko is going so aggressive right now in the backline. The rock from Flawless is going to land. Oh my, what a punish.
What a punish, but the point's already gone about 80-90% of the way, and eventually you're going to get your Genji back. I mean, you can hold on to the high ground, but they've already gotten so much progress at this point in time. Right now, they're just looking to hold out that sniper duel, but Rex Hatches is going to be the one to win it, as Flawless is just trying to contest point, but doesn't have enough support to do it.
Xera's having a rough time so far, and Elko is just putting so much pressure on this front line by himself. He's just in there 1v3 right now, and Rex Hatches chucking in the logs from way downtown, finds another pick on a Tedium. And that's going to be a swap from etc. Goes over on the Sombra off that signature Widow pick. Was having a rough time against the Elko Genji as well as the Red Cactus Hanzo there. So this swap, interesting. There isn't really too much follow-up on hacks, so it's going to be up to etc. to find well-timed hacks, well-placed hacks even, so he gets some damage. And do find a Shittyfish, so that's a good well-placed, well-timed hack. Like I said, he's kind of pushed up, but he will stabilize and stay alive, and the cart continues to move forward, and the high ground is controlled by both sides right now.
High ground's controlled by both sides. Flawless is going to look to get a disrupt on it, and that's going to allow him to find Red Cactus, but it's Elko with the blade. It's going to be a dry blade. It's going to find Flip-Flop. It's going to find Teddy M, and we got ourselves an even fight, but somehow Bunny manages to pick up the res. Okay, Teddy M is back. Now it's on the Monkeys. They have the ult advantage, they have the player advantage, and they're able to push back this seemingly insurmountable Elko.
I mean, you said push back, but the card is still moving forward slowly but surely here. It's going to eventually remove this defensive positioning on the high ground. And with the trades on the DPS right now, a nice hack on Red Cactus. Can etc. finish out the kill? They can't believe they trade? Excuse me, Eric Cactus. The fadeaway, the Kobe shots. Finds etc.'s noggin.
But I do like this swap onto Sombra from etc. It feels like he's having a lot more comfort here, but Shittyfish, definitely not a comfortable ultimate there from the Sigma. Still managing to use it to get a bit of space. They were able to sort of push Flawless back, and they're still putting in massive damage, but the EMP is going to be something that's massive. All it's going to do, though, is bait out the Trance and use the Dragons.
Oh my, etc. is not having a good time so far. It's gonna be a very even exchange on both sides, but you got for the defense right now for the spawns. Unless Elko can pop off here, there's still a bunny on point. It's just gonna get the res, so the defense will hold there.
Okay, but that was 4 ults from
the
the
monkeys.
monkeys.
Yeah,
That was
not
4
good.
ults not to win the fight. That is not very promising, especially when you got the flux. You have the visor, which is going to be pocketed, or potentially nano, depending on how quickly flip-flop can build it up. It feels like this swap from the monkeys is giving them much more confidence, and very confident play by Flawless, holding that angle, getting the rock onto Elko, and a complete denial. The only saving grace that the monkeys had was gonna be this Elko blade, but it's gonna be stalled out a bit more as he finally gets back from spawn.
They're probably playing for this nano blade combo. They are 30% away from it, so they're probably gonna play for that. There's really no defensive ultimates to work here. On the other side, Flame though will fall the kill on Teddy, and now Elko will camp the corpse. Flawless. Both Sigmas have whiffed their last fluxes. Please, for the love of God, find a target. It's a giant circle on your screen. Just get one character in there.
You got 5 people. You might as well at least hit 1. Elko's gonna definitely hit this blade though. Dry blade, but
the dry blade
still definitely good enough.
I mean, yeah, dry blade finds 3. That's gonna be much better than good enough, and that's gonna be point B capture. They do hold out. They do get a pretty good time bank going, but now 3.5 minutes onto point C. You'll have some ults to work with. The Shady Fish close to that another flux. We'll see someone in the air this game. Flame close to a nano. Flawless doesn't get antied, and he's isolated right now on the Mega Room, but he'll get healed up and go back. But that does force a lot of space here. The Malibu monkeys take advantage of that Shady Fish so far up right now. DPS claim the high ground.
You know, the DPS on the high ground, and the only person who can really disrupt that is going to be ETC, but at the moment, he's playing from the low ground, and at this point in time, they've rotated a Shifty Fish up. They've got Flame up there as well, and even though they're taking the point, will it be enough when Elko and Flame have the better positioning?
Yeah, I mean, this duo goes in the back lane, and Nano Elko with no blade, and he finds one on Tedium, and now the point will continue to move forward, as it is...
Who was getting ulted there? Who was getting ulted?
Swiffer Wet Jet Whiff of the Day, Part 3! Anyway, Flame goes down, so a good start here for the defense, but they do isolate Etc. here in the corner room, but Etc. will stay nice and healthy, but again, this is a cluster right now. This is a comp game. This is not team play right now. This is just go kill Elko and go kill Etc. This is madness right now, War.
This is absolutely madness, and with Flawless, the Flux is online. I don't know if that means anything in this game, but definitely gonna be able to take a lot of space with a single nano onto Flawless. Trying to shut down Shifty Fish, but at the moment he's just getting kept up.
A single reset.
Spawn in favor. Yeah.
A single reset on either side, please.
Yeah.
Let's see. We are gonna see it finally. I mean, at this point, the Sigmas might will use their flux to get in the high ground. I mean, it's just one. Elko just find Tedium again. Elko, despite.
There's a time.
Oh yes, he got one!
Yes, he got one!
Tags in the sky. Let's go!
Woo!
It doesn't matter. His team's losing. Woo!
It did nothing.
They forced out Lamp. Huge ultimates.
Huge, massive ultimate.
Flame hits a big anti there. We'll say Flame hits a big anti in the middle of the Valkyrie, so Bunny can't get the healing with that Valkyrie. They can take Flawless down. And now Classified Territory, a Shifty. He has another one. Will it land?
Will it land? And this one's going to be the most important. This can deny them from the point. This could maybe shut down, but it's actually going to be EMP, which is crazy.
Here it comes.
He gets Flawless. Does he get the kill? No, he's not going to be able to get it. And that allows Flawless to dive up on both the supports up top. Flame and Zucchini in so much pressure, but the window's just going to allow them to sustain for the time being. They're keeping a Shifty Fish up on the point. A Shifty Fish looking for flip-flops. Gonna be able to find it, gets hacked on the point. Nano still in the back, and Blade is coming in big for Elko.
Blade comes in huge for Elko there, but honestly that fight could go to Flame. Flame put in a lot of work there, not only the Nano on the Shitty Fish, but also the anti-nade on the flip-flop when Bunny was healing him up, got the support out of the fight, allowed Shitty Fish to stay on point, survive through those cooldowns, and punish flip-flop. Getting that Ana away, Flawless has to play so passive after that happens, and you do cap Junkertown with time in the bank. So not anything to scoff at right now. But, I mean, the Gators showing signs of life on the defense. They finally land You know, they finally hold an opponent. We didn't see it much on King's Row from either side. So it looks like one team can play defense a little bit today. We'll see if the Monkeys can do the same. But what shocked me is how, I don't want to call him out, but how rough Exceder's been having a game right now. Not game, but map. This one has not been good for him. Getting picked early, a lot of time wreck cash, landing the arrows. The Widowmaker gets shut down. Goes over onto Sombra. Really no follow-up on the dives, on the hacks. The EMPs were nice, but there just wasn't too much follow-up on the hacks he'd land. So I see we're going to be over on the May. That's probably not going to stick. That's a spawn troll, but we're having a dive, so probably should go back over onto Sombra with the Sombra Tracer look. It looks like they might be kind of expecting it, though, for the Monkeys. They're starting off with a Sombra Sojourn with the Sigma. There's not... I guess they can try to isolate Flame or Zucchini, so there is some dive targets here. There is some opportunity to make it work. But with how big Junkertown is, dive, like the standard dive with a Winston, kind of struggles here because he has to take a lot of, basically a leap of faith to get near anybody in the backline. So who knows? Maybe Exceder can pop off here, redeem himself a little bit for that defense. It can't be much worse. I expect big things from the big guy.
Yeah, big things from him, but also big things from Elko. You remember how good his dive is on Genji, on Sombra, on really any character, and the opening pick is going to allow really a lot of pressure to get mitigated.
I mean, what he's doing is he's just constantly touching the point. He's just stopping it every so often, as well as getting in his hacks on a Flawless, not allowing him to really jump up for a dive. They forced out a Suzu as well from flip-up early. They could punish that here, the Monkeys, if they decide to go aggressive.
Yeah, it's just if they decide to go aggressive right now, both teams looking very, very split up right now, just trying to sustain, and Bunny's going to be unfortunately taken out again here, but meanwhile, Flawless is trying to get on the backline of Flame, but look at the amount of support that Flame and Zucchini have for each other. They aren't able to really find any space against this backline. Flawless gets shut down, and it's just the momentum in the Monkeys' favor.
Yeah, and what happens there is that Suzu comes out, but then the dive kind of tries to still go in a little bit, but that just isolates their supports in the alleyway, and the spam comp just kind of runs in on them. Isolates Rainy Bunny, takes Bunny out of the fight, and the dive was still going in the backline, but there's so much time for Zucchini to throw the Immortality Field as well, keep Flame alive in the fight. So right now, dive is up on the high ground, but Shitty Fish is just so strong on point, it's going to be real hard to move him from this position.
And when you have EMP online this early, it only hits one. But like when you have it online this early, you have so much potential to get big picks like that one onto Flawless. When your tank goes down, basically the entire foundation of your push is gonna get dismantled, destroyed.
I mean, like you said, it only gets one, but that's the one you need. You're not really gonna catch the Tracer or the Sombra or the Moira or the Kiriko really even, any of the EMPs. So a solo EMP on a Flawless is actually a great play there. Stops the dive. They punish the Winston, and like you saw, the Gators just forced to retreat full send. Well, down there, Winston, the hack on the Wreck Cactus don't get punished, but look at the ult bank here for the Gators and the Monkeys. So much on both sides. The Flux lands!
Oh my god, the Flux lands, and it's a huge one because it completely denies Primal. Primal with no value. ETC with a massive ultimate, but is it gonna matter? That's the question. Teddy M finds one as well. Okay, this is now possible. It's Elko and Flame, the dynamic duo versus Bunny. Teddy M on point. Remember, the spawn's in favor of the Monkeys, which means, or actually in favor of the Gators, which means that Flawless is going to be the first one back on point. There is definitely time to recontest here by the Monkeys.
I mean, just those few seconds of stall there by Elko on the point will be enough for Zucchini to return the point with a window. They find Flawless again. Early punishment. But they do have the Molar Colas on point. Shitty Fish, the Teddy M tanks the rock for his team. And Bunny has found one. The Nano comes in, but it looks like the picks are heavily in favor of the Gators right now. I mean, Shitty Fish is still on point. He still has the help of Flame in the high ground. Flip-Flop is just taking on Flame one-on-one, and Tedium will win the point battle. And it's a messy fight, but they do win it in the long run. And Exceder has walked over back to his Widowmaker. There's no real, there's not too much pressure on him now with the Genji gone. But, okay, I guess that's all you really need. I probably will see Exceder swap back here. I don't see the Widowmaker working.
I also can't see this Widow pick working when the entire strategy is now with the Devo, with the Sombra, and with basically anybody in the team. They can just instantly initiate in. I don't even think it's worth it here to save up, but maybe Etc. can find picks like he does right there. Flawless just keeps on going in and getting shut down though. So even though these picks are happening, they don't have the amount of presence they need on and around the point to actually execute.
Yeah, Flawless seeing the Diva swaps right back over to the Diva of his own. really rough to play Winston into that composition, especially if you're running a Moira Ana comp. It's that's kind of like a brawl hybrid look, but then at the same time you're running a dive tank, so it's kind of rough for Bunny to find too much value on this Moira swap. But they're fighting point right now, which is where they're going to be good. And except for the opening pick on the Flame, this will be good enough for them to win this fight. And that's just because, really, the Monkeys went into a small, confined space where the Moira and Ana found so much value in that kind of brawly look.
Remember, Elko still lurking in the background, did manage to find the pick on ETC, which gives a bit of favor towards the Malibu Monkeys on this recontest. It's just dependent on how soon they have to do it, and Elko's actually going to get spotted out very early. That was a good force out by Flawless, because now the point contest is going to be really scuffed, especially when Bunny finds that early pick.
The skill orb comes in and takes care of that Sombra. And Bunny with the second in this fight. Bunny, make me eat my own words, making this Moira pick work. And now it's not a one-on-one on the stairwell, but Bunny looks to have come in to try to help this. Oh, they don't respect the one-on-one. For shame, Glasgow. But a huge fight. You just use the walls from your Widowmaker and you win the fight. So looking pretty good from right now, but there is some ult coming up on the other side. And Shittyfish decides to swap over onto the Winston here against the D.Va. I don't know about that, but this puts some pressure on etc. So not the end of the world, but I'd like to see maybe a Zarya or just stick the D.Va.
Well, the thing was, I feel like Elko was already putting down that pressure onto etc. But I don't know, maybe not. Maybe etc. is putting down the pressure as well. Maybe you need a Shiftyfish to dive up and try to take the space. Flip-Flop's going to find that sleep, though, and that's still a ton of pressure on Shifty. Gonna get shut down by ETC again, so yeah, I guess you do need both the Winston and the Sombra.
I mean, I need to see him off this Winston as well. It's not gonna work into their comp. The Flip-Flop's too good of an Ana to really fall for these dives. They do use the overclock on the point, but Zucchini is the first to fall. Nano overclock, but Flawless has found two Nano of their own, so the Glasgow Gators look to push this in with more time in the bank. As Rakaz gets anti on the high ground as well. I'm taking a job from you, War, for this one. Zucchini does have this winner when they return, but the anti does land as a big one on the two members of Glasgow. Flame just trying to get back in the spawn room, trying to stay alive for as long as possible. It's 3 mirrors and counting, though. Zucchini trying to come back here, push down the window right down main, but the colas from Bunny is looking pretty massive right now, making so much space for the squad. Zucchini lose out on the immortality field, but there's some members on point. The bomb out from Flawless could be huge here. Yes, it is. Those lands right on the Shittyfish's head. The pulse bomb finds nothing. Elko has found etc. in the meantime. Flip-Flop falls weak, but Bunny is there for the peel. Right now, Tay did force use the recall as well on the point. Flawless is antied up, but does not matter. Goes right down the flame, forces right back to small run, takes him down. Anyway, Zucchini with a swap over on the Kiriko for desperation maneuvers. Retcax as well and Tracer, but it's not enough as a support line here for the Glasgow Gators. Put in some work in that last fight.
Putting in some absolute work. That's going to be a better time bank for Glasgow on this map. So I love to see these proactive swaps. I love to see what's working out, and I really hope they're going to stick with this sort of D.Va plus Widow composition that's working out incredibly for them so far.
I mean, it's working out, but at the same time, do we see Elko go back to a Genji? It depends. Do these teams kind of just play the counter swap game here? There's not a 5-minute time bank to work with this time, Monkeys. You got to actually be playing out your fight a little bit here, and they are going to go for the Genji. If etc. does not swap here, it might be rough. I would actually like to see him start on the Sombra and swap to the Widow instead of the other way around, because I think you just get more value anyway on Sombra most of the time compared to Widowmaker, but etc. is a very, very good Widow player, so sticking with what his comfort is. But do they make this work again? Because now Elko back on his nature Genji could be some, cause some issues for this backline and/or this Widowmaker. So I don't know. The look right now I'm seeing both these teams kind of playing what worked for them on their attack and/or defense. So, hello everybody. I've taken over as producer. Panini's computer has just completely died. We don't know what happened, but I think we should be good to go. We are going into our fourth map of Esperanza, with the Glasgow Gators up 2-1 right now.
Glasgow Gators up 2-1 with a very strong performance on Junkertown. I mean, it felt like they were really on top of their game for that map. But now we're going to see a swap from the Monkeys. They're putting Flame back onto the tank role and Shifty Fishy on the support line. So we'll see how this Flame Elko duo does together now that they're on tank and DPS rather than support and DPS. Obviously, they did have a bit of success, but now it's match point. Now all the pressure is going to be on the line for the monkeys will have to see what they can do.
Yeah, it is match point for them, but at the same time, Esperanza is a very good map for a Winston. So, a Shitty Fish, more comfortable on that Reinhardt, on their Mantra, on the Zarya, more of the Brawly style tanks. I wouldn't be surprised to see Flame over onto a Winston, but this is sticking with a Ramatra style here. But Flawless going over to Winston. There's just a lot of high ground that a Winston can play with here. A lot of positions that Winston can dive in from. The dive is just pretty good in this map. We see it a lot here, but we do as well see Goku come back in for BOON1E on the side of the Glasgow Gators. So kind of back to our control point battle that we saw on Busan. And Shitty Fish go on the Lucio, and just going to go full Ramatra Brawl here. So, yeah, we're back to what we played on Busan and what we saw the Glasgow Gators take the map off.
Feels like whenever we have Elko and ETC on this mirrored Sombra, it's always one of them who starts finding more value than the other, then some swaps comes through. So we'll have to see which team strategy works better. We have a harder dive versus a harder brawl, and it looks like the dive's going to be coming straight in from Teddy, M, Flawless, ETC going straight on to this Ramatra. This entire team is just exploding.
Yep, and I mean, that's just Zucchini playing this Moira here instead of the Baptiste. Just the hat comes down on a Wrecked Cactus. There's just no way they can sustain through all this pressure put on the Cassidy. And Flame sees this, goes over to Junker Queen, which I think works way better with the Moira. I wouldn't be surprised to see this come back strong here in this fight, especially if Elko can land a nice hack. But Flawless playing up high, keeps the space for the squad. The supports set up on that high ground. The big anti in the back against Shitty Fish, but they won't catch him here on the rotation. Sleep lands, and the fight begins.
Sleep lands and fight begins. A nice point of pressure from Flawless, trying to disrupt this high ground, but it's going to be Goku who's shut down, putting all the pressure to support the team onto Flip-Flop, trying to keep them all up, but Flip-Flop's down now too. They've done an effective job of taking out both the supports of the Gators, so now it's just a battle of time. All that the Malibu Monkeys need to do is survive, and they'll claim this point.
And yeah, I don't really know why Goku was standing there like the Alamo. I don't know why he would hold his ground so hard against a Junker Queen rush when he's all alone, when he could have just rotated with Flip-Flop, because they isolate the Brig and take him down really low, dies, and it basically opens the fight for the Monkeys. And now looking at it, EMPs on both sides, so it's really going to come down to Etc. versus Elko here. Whichever one can land a bigger one and or a first one will probably take the fight win.
Yeah, and Elko's gonna put pressure on, and he's gonna EMP. Wrecked Cactus is gonna find the pick onto ETC, so no EMP on the side of the Gators. But multiple other ults are gonna be invested. There's gonna be a Coalescence. There's gonna be Nano, which is gonna completely shut down that Coalescence. Those are the picks that Flawless needs to make, and that's the right time for them as well. It feels like Flawless is now being allowed to cook. When you isolate yourself against Flawless, you know he's not afraid to jump in.
And yeah, I apologize for a second there, Chad. I forgot I was producing, so I'll just spectate like I was a color caster. Anyway, but when we looked at their really, Etc. gets taken down for it to use the EMP, but then Flip-Flop comes with a huge nano on a Flawless, and Flawless goes in with the counter aggression, finds 3 of the fight. So I think that's probably going to be it. Flip-Flop comes up. Here's the huge play with alongside Flawless, and now there's going to be a first point cap. There's going to be a butt scratch achieved, but you have beat. You'll have the Rampage, but if Etc. can land a nice EMP, that'll be it.
Yeah, it's all about this ETC EMP or any of the ults that the Gators have been so carefully holding on to, and it's just because they haven't needed to use it this far into the competition. They find the pick on Wrecked Cactus. Wrecked Cactus is actually going to opt to switch off despite having the Cassidy ult. And multiple ultimates are going to come through, but Flip-Flop with an amazing sleep onto Flame. That's going to completely deny the Junker Queen Rampage there. They're just putting down so much pressure. The Shitty Fish is going to come in with a beat. That's going to give the momentum back in favor of the Monkeys. They're pushing through the composition, but Gators doing a great job of just running away, kiting this, taking their one loss and not going in too far. But Flame says, oh no you don't, Flip-Flop. We're going to take one more with us.
That was something ults used on both sides, but really just comes down to the Shitty Fish hitting a nice clutch beat. Keeps Flame alive in the fight, allows him to take that space right back for the team. And Etc. is going to stall point for just a couple more seconds here, forced retreat. But Elko has lapped Etc. here on the EMP charge, has another one already here, as the fight will begin to break out here shortly. Zucchini close to another Coalescence as well. But if Flip-Flop can again land a nice nano on a Flawless when the EMP comes in, could be enough to secure a fight on either side. It's really close. The ultimates really will decide this one. Whoever can land a big one. The cart continues to move forward, however. So the monkeys will take this.
EGC has it. Big EMP there by EGC. It's going to be tempted to counter EMP it, but it's going to be too little too late from Elko. And they're just, I mean, that's just a fight win there. One ultimate and they take it. Two ultimates actually, but they take it down.
A day late and dollar short on the EMP, and Elko swaps off that Sombra over onto the Tracer. Just, you lose a couple members and use the EMP. There's really no follow-up. Everybody was so weak from Exeter's EMP themselves. And the ultimates here on both sides really non-existent. Flame close to the run page. Pulse Bomb going to whiff from Tedium, but it's going to be a really even fight on either side right now. But this backline for the Gators is putting in a lot of work on this map right now. Just staying alive for as long as they can, and they're going to get a final blow there at the end. But that's going to be another fight win here for the Gators, and it's looking pretty rough here for the Monkeys. It might not be a comeback in them. It might be Jover. I'm done in believing in the Malibu Monkeys right now. It's up to, I mean, if Flame can land a big one, maybe, but there's just so much advantage here for the Gators to play with on push right now, and they also are, again, building up, etc. 20% to another EMP, ready to drop it down.
It is a momentum-based map, any type of push map, but it feels like the momentum for the Monkeys has been completely lost. They need some opportunity to go in, and maybe it's going to be the Coalescence putting down a ton of pressure onto Flawless, but not going to be able to find anything with this. It's just going to split up the team, deal a bit of zoning damage, but Flawless is just staying up. And that's a whole on the back line. So much pressure has been put on Flip-Flop and Goku throughout this game, but they just aren't going down no matter what.
I mean, nobody's falling. And the Coalescence finds that the EMP is big from etc. Lands on the multiple members. Shittyfish can't use the beat in time to keep the team alive, and the bot will continue to move forward. We might see a full cap here. And Elko with a late stagger as well. They did use a nano, they did use a rally, they did use the EMP, but you will take that. Free cart progress here. I mean, Flame might take a desperation maneuver here. He falls so low, Flame's got to use it. Use the rampage on the cart, finds multiple members, they will eventually get etc. But it's only one pick for so many ults used. They can sustain for just a couple more seconds. Stadium does fall low, so both DPS for the Glasgow Gators have finally fallen. But with a 100-meter advantage, it's going to be rough here for the Malibu Monkeys to make this back. However, just last week, we saw the Hedgehogs take back a 90-meter advantage with 1 minute on Coliseo or Esperanza. So anything is possible here, War. There have been miracles in the past.
Definitely momentum-based maps, and I mean, the Gators did use 3 ults 2 fights ago, which meant that the final fight they were going to take, or the potentially final fight they were going to take, had to be a dry fight, and they just ended up losing that because Rampage beat online. Now, there's still an ult advantage for the Malibu Monkeys, so we could see them potentially taking this early positioning, taking a solid point, as long as they don't go down early. Flawless has been so clinical on finding these early picks, so as long as the supports of the Malibu Monkeys are able to stay alive, they are able to keep the team up.
I mean, the early pick is there for Tedium on his Zucchini. That's a lot of healing gone. Now both supports are gone for the Monkeys. I mean, Red Cash might clutch us up with a Death Blossom, but it does not look likely, as Flawless with the Prime Rage just batting the enemy team around. Not allowing too much to really cap it in terms of a dive, and Tedium is ready to clean up Red Cactus as he gets out of the reform. And it's going to be another fight win. I mean, you're just looking at it, 4 ults here for the Gators, and nothing to use for the side of the Monkeys. I mean, they'll have a Cole here soon, probably, as well as Flames mid-fight. But at the same time, it's not looking good. I mean, 2 minutes in the bank are here, so there's still the miracle possibility. But, it's going to be a miracle if it does happen.
And they're trying to go for this miracle comp switch, whatever they can do, onto the Ana, onto the Brig, onto the D.Va. Whatever does work, and at least the D.Va's going to be able to put a bit more pressure down onto Flawless's Winston. Has been so clinical at diving in. Dives in this time. Zucchini hits the sleep, but is going to get absolutely blown up. That's Goku, Teddy M, Flawless, putting in so much work, and now it's just a dynamic duo left on point, trying to sustain, trying to stay alive. Flame goes down, Elko finds one, then gets shield bashed in by Goku, and now it's just the supports of the Malibu Monkeys trying to sustain however they can. Big anti though. Wait,
what? Finds 2, okay.
Okay.
You might just prolong the inevitable there. I thought surely they won that fight earlier as well, with Flame coming up huge with the eat on the pulse bomb, Zucchini finding the shot and etc. from long range. So it works out in the end. Kind of a weird fight there. Shittyfish comes back. Desperation Big falls down to like 2 HP and finds 2 kills regardless, just swinging the mace around. The sleep does land on Rakak, does force on early Wraith form, so this could be a huge turning point in the fight already before it even starts.
Before it even starts, the ETC trying to start this fight off well, and he's gonna manage to do so. That's gonna be Zucchini, Red Cactus down, Goku down on the other side. A Shifty-Fish with Desperation Rally here, trying to stay alive. They're actually gonna eat the Pulse Bomb of Teddy M though, which is gonna be massive. Now it's just on Flame, Elko, and Shifty to stay alive, but when Shifty goes down, that's your support line gone. It's just Flame and Elko, and Flip-Flop's still up, and Ball is definitely still up, putting in the work on the point. The bomb's not gonna find anything. It's just gonna be a last-ditch effort, but really no effort that can be made left.
I mean, the nail the Reaper does force him to back off for just a couple more seconds, but they just walked on the back line now that Rekash has pushed the point forward. And the supports are going huge again for Glasgow, finding the 2 picks in this fight. And that will probably be it. That will be the match. We will go to a 3-1 victory for the Glasgow Gators. And, yeah, I mean, once you get down that huge an advantage, there's only so many times 100 meters can come back on push. And Flawless on the Winston, putting in some work on this map. Like I said, you know, Esperanza's a really good Winston map, and we saw him put to work here. Finding advantage, find some smartly timed dives as well as well positioned, keep himself nice and healthy, as well as inside lines of his supports. I mean, yeah, just look at this. He's walking forward. He's just a madman.
He's just going straight in. I mean, that's what he does best, jumping in, taking whoever he can, and maybe against the hard brawl comps on Kings Row that couldn't work, but on every other map they managed to find success and take the 3-1 victory. Glasgow Gators will be our map winner.
They will be the match winner, and I need to find something to put here because I don't have an off-screen, so here we go. That's an inspirational picture. There we go. That's some inspiration for you. We'll also put the Gators on here. But we do have to come up with a winner, a MVP of the match. War.
Yeah.
And since you don't cast very often, I'll just give you the honors, honestly, at this point. You can go ahead and just pick who do you think was the swaggiest today for the Glasgow Gators as they take home the 3-1 win.
In my opinion, there was one person who did it on every map in a reliable fashion. In every situation, they were fulfilling their role and more, even when all the odds were against them. And that player is the one and only Ana Baptiste in Flip-Flop.
I'd have to agree with that one. I think, you could get to a lot of players. You get to Flawless, had a great performance on the tank, but a great tank is only as good as the support behind him. And, I mean, yeah, Goku had a great performance on the Brig as well, but only played 2 maps. Flip-Flop was there the entire series, so I can't argue with that selection either. We can bring her in for a quick interview. But let's see, where is she? There she is. And we are in... There she is, our player of the match. Congratulations, Flip-Flop, on the 3-1 win today. Just some initial thoughts coming off the win against the Malibu Monkeys.
I've never gotten player of the match before. So
whoa!
It took like 8 seasons or something, and here we are. Oh my god!
Woo!
Initial thoughts. Inting was fun. I don't like Tracers or Genjis, so they weren't very fun to verse. Was not very pleasant for me, but I appreciate my other supports. Just kind of just I would say something, but stream.
Stream?
Stream.
Yeah.
But I just want to point out, Flip-Flop, I've only got twice, but me and you are the only players who got All-Star all seasons. How does this happen? Anyway.
Oh my god. Twinsies.
Yeah, we're the only people to get 8 times. Subtle flex for both of us. But like you said, going into Inting there was fun, but was that kind of the strategy for your team coming in? Do you want to play this Sombra Tracer dive style? Or is that kind of like an impromptu, like, I think we can pull this off, guys? Was this like a practice situation? Is it just like a, hey, let's roll with it? Just like, yeah. I know Flawless is a very big fan of meta comps.
Yeah. He's the type who will sit there and be like, all right, guys, we're gonna run the, what was it, the Florida Mayhem comp or whatever. This is like 2 days ago or something. No, but I think the Tracer Sombra was kind of something that we've been working on like quite a bit in our scrims, and even in previous matches we've run it a few times, obviously to varying degrees of success. Haha, whoops. But yeah, no, this is something that we definitely wanted to whip out, and something that we definitely wanted to try. I think we took one look at KR, and we took one look at that first point on was it Busan, and we were like, yeah, we're not gonna play Brawl. So it was kind of just like, we know who we're versing, we know what they're good at, and we should just play to our own strengths rather than trying to mirror, which is a lot of times what we kind of get caught up doing. So yeah.
Do you feel like when you're sort of choosing your role in the support line and you feeling so much pressure against you, do you feel like Ana's like a comfort pick for you? Would you rather go more of a Baptiste in that case?
I think I'd rather drown than play Baptiste, to be honest.
Okay.
But
So based.
the number of times where I'm like, hey, so we're gonna run like Kiriko here, right? And Flawless is like, no, go Bap. And it just crushes my soul a little bit every single time. Ana's definitely more of a comfort pick though, but yeah. Bap kind of just makes me crazy. Crazy?
Crazy.
I was
That was crazy once.
They
They
locked
me in a room.
Sorry,
A
Connor made
rubber
me do it.
room.
Connor made me do it. Sorry.
A rubber room with Baps. And Baps
Our
make her
room mortality
crazy.
fields.
All the immorts. All the immorts.
All right, War, you've been on a cast for a while, man, so I'll let you go ahead and take El Clasico away from me.
Alrighty, Flip Flop. Of course, congratulations in your 3-1 win against the Monkeys. But if you were not given the MVP, who would you give the MVP of this match to on your team?
I think this one definitely probably belongs to Elliot, if I'm being honest. I think there were a lot of times where he just popped off when we really needed it, and like even some very clutch EMPs, especially on that last map there. Very, very good. I also loved his play of the game as Sombra on J-Town. But yeah. Oh, I've been told I said the wrong Rats copy pasta. I'm so sorry. Consider for a moment the world a rat lives in. It's a hostile world indeed. If a rat were to scamper through your front door right now, would you greet it with hostility? Has a rat ever done anything to you to create this animosity you feel toward them? Unless some fool is stupid enough to try and handle a live one, rats don't make it a practice of biting human beings. Rats were the cause of the bubonic plague, but that was some time ago. In all your born days, has a rat ever caused you to be sick a day in your life? I propose to you, any disease a rat could spread, a squirrel could equally carry. Yet I assume you don't share the same animosity with squirrels that you do with rats, do you? Yet they are both rodents, are they not? And except for the fact that one has a big bushy tail while the other has a long, repugnant tail of rodent skin, they even rather look alike, don't they? However, interesting as the thought may be, it makes not one bit of a difference how you feel. If a rat were to scamper through your door this very minute, would you offer it a saucer of your delicious milk? I didn't think so. You don't like them. You don't really know why you don't like them. All you know is you find them repulsive. What a tremendously hostile world a rat must endure. Yet not only does he survive, he thrives. And the reason for this is because our little foe has an instinct for survival and preservation second to none. Preservation.
Rats make me
whatever.
crazy.
And rats make me crazy. Yes, thank you.
Wow.
You know, I think I needed to hear that.
No problem.
Yeah.
Technically, that was from Inglorious Bastards. And I believe they were talking about the Jewish people. So take from that what you will.
Okay then. All right.
And we will
We
no
have
longer
gone
give
way
Flip
off
Flop
topic.
the player of the match. She got it once. Well, there you go. Congratulations on your first player of the match, and
Thank you.
best of luck on your guys' future matches.
Yeah, thanks. We'll need it, but you know.
Swag. And she's gone, thank God.
For real. No more rats.
I've got nothing really to say, so War, you want to send us out? Thanks guys for watching. Shout out to Panini's computer for dying, and I apologize for awful stream.
Yeah, we had some funnies on the stream. We had some Panini's computer dying. We had some France. We got a lot of France. And we got totally France. But
Too much
at the end of the day, what we had was a 3-1 victory for the Glasgow Gators over the Malibu Monkeys, and an absolutely incredible match from all the players. So thank you so much for the audience, for all you watching, for the pride behind the scenes, both BOON1E, Paninii, and for this incredible community we've built here in Aurora Esports. That's going to be all for us tonight, and we'll see you in the Aurora Esports Discord.
Bye bye.